Hello everyone,
Hello everyone.
and welcome to this month's KWCC. I am your host, Kaiju X, and with us today will be Nagoda, Ultimate Ditto, and Joe.
Oh,
Yay.
good. You said our names. We are lifeless puppets again.
Yes, I have given you life. That's gonna be the new freaking canon for this anime.
Well, thank you.
Without me, you are all lifeless puppets.
In this world, Kaiju X is God.
I was gonna say that, but thank you for saying it for me.
Wow.
Well, you made me say it.
Yes, because I knew you were gonna say it, my son. But anyway, let's see. So, today we usually go out. It's hard to say whether we're going to be talking about KWCs today. Partially because Toho Kingdom is currently down. Like, it just abruptly kind of shut down because the platform Toho Kingdom uses is suffering some kind of outage. Like, I wouldn't say power outage, but, it's an outage. Like, it's just shut down. So it's being worked on right now to see what could be done about that.
It'll be.
Man, Nagoda, what the heck were you just doing there?
What?
He's
Oh,
eating
I
pie.
was on headphones.
Let the boy eat pie.
Alright, he will eat his pie.
Do I sound better now?
Not amidst the shuffling. Alright, I can't really make you out from the shuffling.
How about now?
You sound better than before. So.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but, it'll do.
Let me change phones then. Just.
Alright. It's gonna change. Yeah, I mean, all that shuffling, man, that kind of would have been annoying. This is why people listen to this podcast, pie. This episode of KWCC is sponsored to you by pie.
Wow.
But yeah, shoot.
Aren't they all?
Yeah, they all are. They all secretly been are. Whatever I just said means. So.
See, the KWC, it's not about kaiju or family. It's about pie,
Yes.
It sounds good to me.
and that's why it's so special.
How about now?
Oh,
Oh,
you
wow,
sound
yes,
really
I'm
good.
hoping
Oh, yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah, I guess it's just my other phone then, because you guys sound clear now instead of staticky.
So do you, man. So do you. So.
Nice.
But as I was saying, I don't think we're going to be going to discussion about this month's KWCs or KWCEs, mostly because TK is suffering from some kind of power outage, and unless Gray Shot gets here, we're not really going to be able to talk about it much. And plus, I wouldn't be able to salvage the banners to make for the videos anyway, so...
We'll make your own.
Yeah, right!
What about the KWCEs?
KWCEs...
The forum's down too.
Yeah, well, I mean, forum's down 2 overall, so we wouldn't really be able to talk about the match anyway. Granted, I could make the pictures for it, but, what's the point?
I'll just draw the banners.
Alright, yeah, let's get on that right now. Let's go to Scribble and try and draw the banners. Oh, man.
I mean, you got me and Ditto here. We can just put something together really fast.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you guys could. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have me here, too, who's also very capable. But yeah, shoot. Oh, all right. So I guess just how have things been for you guys since the last month?
I'm here for
Been
once.
Okay.
Yay!
How
Yeah,
have
we're
you
doing
been,
good.
Kaiju X?
I'm doing all right. Okay. Yeah. So things have just been a little hectic for me lately. Not necessarily because of the KWCE stuff or the KWCE or the fan fictions, but just real life has been a little hectic because of like
Ghidorah
inventory.
attacks.
Yeah, right, Ghidorah attacks. No, inventory came up this week from where I work at, and it's just it was chaotic. It was freaking chaotic.
What about the hurricanes?
Are we in the hurricanes? And the,
Yes.
Oh, hey, it's Free Shot.
Yes, it is I.
Oh, he's here.
Speaking of massive, speaking of the hurricane, are you guys okay from it?
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Like the hurricane only grazed us. Like it was nothing.
So what we can cut to is Kaiju X dodging the hurricane like the Matrix dodges bullets. Gotcha.
Every last raindrop. Yes.
But no, yeah, it's that was a heck of a storm. But apparently, it's still flooding is still in the most of the area. But
Right.
are we going over like events from the last?
Not real. I don't think we're gonna be planning on talking about this much KWCs and KWCEs, just mostly because the site's down. Plus, I can't even access the banners anyway to put them in the video. So I'm just
Oh,
like,
I have the banners.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I keep a copy of everything I submit, so I could just I can post it for you guys if you want, I can just post the banners and the matches.
Right. I guess if there's a way that we can overlook the matches too, then sure, we could probably talk about that.
Okay, sure. What was the last match we discussed?
That's what I'm gonna look up right now.
I think the last August match is where we're at.
I think the last August match was yeah.
Dagara.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Did
Dagara.
we talk about the Dogara one?
No, we haven't. So
No,
238 and
That came out,
239.
I think, 2 days after we did the other one.
Yeah,
Oh,
230.
that banner still looks great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You bet it is. 238 and 239 are the two we'll look over today.
I like how Great Shot labels the matches by the author's name and what match it is for them.
True.
That's actually what I'm given.
Yeah,
Is
that's how I organize matches, believe it or not. Like I have the author name, I have the number, and then I have the match name.
So what number am I at?
Oh, I think I stopped that a while ago, but let me see. Because some of them I do, some of the matches I have been going around deleting if they're posted on the site. So it's just for me, I just don't see a point of having all the extra space on the computer. But
Yeah, that's true.
let's see.
Yeah, I post them all on Discord, so you guys have access.
Yes, all right.
There you go.
Cool.
So I guess first up, Dagara versus Ganymes, Gazora, Kamobus, Manda, Titanosaurus, and Baran.
Right. Actually, hang on a second. If we're going to be posting crap to Discord, let me see what I can do. Just before we go over that, KWC,
Hey, great shot, that's the one banner. For the Godzilla Source one.
What was the last KWC?
No, it's not. It's the right one.
What was the last?
There's a different one.
Yeah,
There's
I know. I
two of them
posted
up there.
both.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he posted
I didn't see that.
both of them. You knuckle.
Yeah, I posted the one I rejected and the one I accepted.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't scroll up.
Oh, yeah. No, I originally received. It had a very low. I really don't, and I never recommend using the trading card. You can use another one, another figure or something. I'd recommend using it in a heartbeat, just because the quality of those are not great. They look very, very bad. So, I
A lot
switched
of them.
it.
Oh, right, yeah. That's understandable, because the, like, a lot of the training battle stuff is a little on the low-res side, but there are some of them that are of decent quality, especially if you can use
Oh,
it
that
right.
reminds me. Well, guess what? Apparently, all the banners I made were made at low resolution on Photoshop because I forgot to change it to actual good
That explains a lot.
resolution size.
Anthony actually made a few
Yeah.
notes about like low poly in regards to some of the banners, and I couldn't figure out. I thought it was something on my end, but that might actually explain it.
Yeah. I forgot to change the settings on Photoshop. Everything's at 72 right now, and it's supposed to be 300 for a good picture.
Oh, jeez.
Yep, you can tell how bad that is. I'm gonna have to redo the camera banner.
Yeah, just let me know in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Hang on a second. Okay. Boop, boop. Got all that. Let me see. What was KWCE number 23? Was that last month's? I think so.
What was the map? Isn't this Shintober? Shimtember?
No,
So
we didn't.
it
I
was
know we
Shin
didn't
versus
talk about
Rodan
Shin
and
September.
Shin versus something else. There was one at the beginning. I'm blanking on it.
Right. I mean, I have the actual
It was
fix.
Shin versus Destroyer.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we go over Shin vs. Destroyer, or was that
No, because we didn't go over Dagara, which was posted on the 31st.
right? Okay. I think that had to be.
I think the Dagara match was first.
Yeah. Which one was that?
I will be right back.
It was.
Okay.
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure 24 was Shin Destroyer versus Shin. 24, 25, 26, 27. Right? Shit. Well, either way, a second. Boop. Rodan. And the most recent one. Okay. Alright, cool. Now I've posted all the KWCEs into the Discord, so we can look over those two as we talk. Okay, so we will be talking about this series of matches. If we missed one, I apologize in advance.
Well, now they'll have to shut down TK again. If we forgot one.
If we forgot one, and only the one.
Comically enough, I did access the stats, and there is people actually did visit the site today. So, I mean, it wasn't a lot, but people, at least I double checked the KWC section, and some people somehow got access. Don't ask me how.
I think you can just type into the URL. That's probably how they did it.
But it's not general KWC. It's the ones that are newest. So you got to remember the URL changes with the
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah, that's right. They must have it memorized then. I don't know.
Because it might not be a general blackout. There might be some parts of the world or some. It might not be a general. It might not be all denied. It might just be only parts.
Alright. But regardless, we can now go over today's series of matches. Officially, we will be kicking this off with the last match of August. Dagara versus Ganymus, Gazora, Kamibas, Manda, Titanosaurus, and Varan. Holy crap, that's a lot.
That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of Baron. And a lot of monsters. Goodness.
It's Dagara versus a lot of monsters.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yep.
what this is.
And it ends with how it should have. It ends with the proper finale for the August trio getting absolutely murdered.
Yeah, seems fitting enough to me. Now, honestly, I think this match is. Ooh, man, this is a. It's a bit. It's like it's really nice to see so many sea monsters being gathered around like this, and in addition, honestly, what a good showcase for Dagara. Like, it's kind of like finally putting him in the place he deserves. and the way it ends is just kind of like, yeah, the dude's strong. Like, yeah, Tagara's really damn strong when you kind of think about it. Like, it's almost kind of the Rebirth of Mothra series is almost like this very like Dragon Ball Z level of like power scaling and whatnot. But yeah, what the heck? Oh, I guess that must have been.
Oh yeah, I also posted the original, which is what I originally did for the my original banner, which I possibly quickly got rid of due to the fact that it may not have looked as good as Jackson's.
Yeah.
Also, that was a work in progress, so it was not near finished.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
There is a slight difference in quality.
Only a slight one. But yeah, freaking. Yeah, honestly, Jackson's. Oh, the banner's amazing. But the match itself is actually pretty strong. Like the way, Tagara was freaking awesome. It was nice to see him get be the big bad as opposed to be losing or kind of requiring assistance. That may imply a spoiler ending, but whatever. People have probably read it at this point already, so.
Yeah.
So, just going down, up or down the list. Grayshot, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was again, I may have a personal inclination towards 211, but this still was a really good match, featuring some really good monster action, and while I wouldn't say a surprising ending, it was well earned.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Kashawn Johnston proves to be, I would say, one of the best writers in the KWC at the moment. Expertly written, everything flows fantastically. So overall, I really enjoyed this match.
All right, Nagoda, what'd you think of 238?
Don't speak all at once now, Nagoda.
There is no Nagoda, only Zool.
There's nothing now. Hello?
Hello? You there?
Is this working?
Yes, this is working.
Wherever you are.
Okay, good. My microphone was turned off for some reason. Well, what I said while my microphone was off was that I liked how Dagar was actually the big evil bad guy for once, and he actually went out to conquer the entire ocean.
And like what I would call maybe not the entire ocean came to fight.
Most of the ocean.
98.
Or the few that actually cared.
Just some of the ocean, like a puddle.
The Lord of the Seven Puddles.
The ones that were actually cared, I guess you could say.
Quote unquote. But no, yeah, they they did come in mass. They did try to fight. I don't think it exactly worked out that well. But they did the damnedest they could. Even since the fact they didn't have much to help them.
Right.
Oh, Graysha. Good news. Those two banners you had me make for you, the resolution's fine on them. It's at 300.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Alright, but yeah, freaking.
Okay, so who's next in this?
After you is going to be Ultimate Ditto, who is currently not here at the moment. So we'll just pass
Is
the
that
show.
gone?
He's
Well,
he's muted and deaf.
Ah.
Well, Kaiju X, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't read it.
Gosh darn it, Joe. Gosh darn it.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's not the first time this has happened already, but...
but I've heard it's really, really good.
Hmm. Good. I'm glad you have heard as such.
I really, really like that banner.
Can we all just obsessively goggle upon Jackson's banner again? Good grief.
Again,
I mean,
he does great. He
I
does
thought
great
you guys
work.
were doing that. I thought you guys were doing that already.
Oh, absolutely. I'm doing it right now. Oh, man. Yeah, that's crazy good. I love it.
Most
And
definitely.
I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but this is probably the best banner of the year.
I can agree.
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, for sure.
Did someone just say jerky?
No,
Is that phone?
that's my phone. Gosh darn. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the jerky phone.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, great. I mean, my brother's YouTube channel is sponsored by Jerky, so it does make
heard.
sense.
So
Now they're contacting
I was
Kaiju
gonna
X.
Wait, didn't you tell us that it was
before
sponsored by
every
Jerky?
video, do you
Mhm.
have to eat jerky?
Yeah, you can get 20% off if you use the code GRAYSHOT for stim packs.
Do you get to
What's
keep
this
the
place
jerky?
thing called?
Stim packs.
What?
That's the jerky company. They're called stim packs. Recommend the pepper flavor. They also have original and teriyaki.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I guess we're all now in the mood for beef jerky then. All right.
You're back, Kaiju X.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm back.
Sorry, I was just making small talk. But yes, no. Otherwise, yeah, GVJ. What is your any other final thoughts for this match?
GVZ.
GVZs, yes.
There is no GVJ, only GVZ.
Hmm.
But I hear it's really good, and I'm glad to see all these different monsters in one place. It's like Infinity War in the ocean.
Wow.
Okay.
$17 for the peppered.
Infinity War in the ocean. Gotcha.
That'll be on the main site. Like it'll be like the back of a DVD. Infinity War in the ocean.
You see,
GVZ.
the thing is, since he killed all those Yogg monsters, they're gonna come back twice as many now.
Yes. So, anyway, I guess any additional thoughts? Dagara versus Gazora. I love the way that freaking documents titled that. Only Dagara versus Gazora.
Honestly, I originally had this. The file was corrupted, so that was the only thing that showed up. So I was like, I'll save that for the August. And then once I read it over, I was like, oh, this matches a whole bunch of other monsters.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, once I realized that like about a month before August, I was like, oh, this can be a really cool match actually,
Mhm.
and therefore it became part of the site.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm glad the corruption led to this and that, even though having the full title there probably would have helped anyway, but, okay.
I want to see what Gazora versus Dagara would have been.
Absolutely one-sided and about 5 seconds long.
About
But
as-
speaking of matches that were, should have been 5 seconds long, we have Godzillasaurus versus King Ghidorah Hesai.
Ah, yes. This one.
Battle of the Retirees.
Yeah, it's the passing of the torch of two retirees. Whoever wins gets retired.
We lose.
No matter who wins, we lose.
Again, you're not too far off there. But no, yeah, it was a overall. I had to do a bit of editing on this one, but it was good. The banner I had to do a quick changeover for just because I do not like the whenever anyone uses those banners, and luckily I was able to get a quick fix, so much appreciated on that. But otherwise, good, it was a good one, and it's probably going to be the weakest of the three matches for Godzilla Source's finale month, or depending on when the site comes back up,
right,
maybe
right.
it might be 2 months, but but still a good match, definitely a solid match. But it's one that I'm also very, as I expressed, I'm happy Godzilla Source is leaving, because when you have to kind of nerf a monster so hard to fight another monster.
Mm-hmm.
Then it kind of goes against the combatant's character in itself. It's cool, the idea of a juvenile King Ghidorah,
Yeah.
but then you can make the obvious assertion that, oh, what if full-grown King Ghidorah fought him? And the answer would be this match would be literally 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Right, for sure. Yeah, I think this match kind of proves it's an encapsulation of the problem with Godzilla Source's inherited problem. I can't say it's too small. It might have been my fault for making him that small, since I'm the one responsible for all the stats and whatnot. But I do feel like it is just kind of like, it's part of the character. It's natural that Godzilla Source will be a much smaller creature compared to the others. But even then, it's his simplicity and lack of any real power. He's a proto-monster too, so that doesn't help. I get Christians, like when Christian brought him in for the KWC, there's no doubt in my mind it was meant to be seen as sort of like an individual, in a way. Like, he was just meant to be his own thing. He was meant to represent the more simplistic side to the dinosaurs. I get that, but it's like, at this point, the only real thing you could do, like, you could just replace Godzilla Source with Gorosaurus. You could just replace it with Baragon. There's not too much to... You could replace it with Titanosaurus, even, if you want the whole gentle nature thing. But honestly, it's just like, there's not much you could really do with Godzillasaurus that isn't just him mutating into another monster.
It's more so the fact that Godzillasaurus in its most primal state is just a proto-Godzilla, and no matter what Godzillasaurus does, it's always going to be that. Nothing more than a shadow of Godzilla. Mm-hmm. And everything that it can do, Godzilla can do.
Right.
Which is...
arguably even like, Godzilla Jr., who's technically a mutant Godzillasaurus, already, it's like, but even Jr. has already held his own ground in a weird way. Like...
well, he fills in the role that I think Godzillasaurus should be, which is he's a smaller version of Godzilla.
Yeah.
And that is... there's nothing wrong with that. Like him just being that smaller version. Like, because at the end of the day, Godzillasaurus is supposed to be, Godzilla Jr. is meant to be an inexperienced younger version of the monster we all know and love.
And in addition to that, it also helps like give the low tier monster something to fight. Like, you can fight Godzilla, but a younger one, without nerfing the original.
Exactly.
The fact, like, don't get me wrong, the match, so it is really interesting. I do probably understand that it's like we're not going to be seeing juvenile monsters too frequently, but it is kind of neat to have a juvenile Ghidorah, because you have to think this thing did grow. How, it's like, that is kind of neat. I kind of like the idea conceptually, but it does kind of like, it's like, oh, we had to nerf Ghidorah so that way Godzillasaurus could actually fight him.
Yep. But here, enough of my rant. What did you guys think? Nagoda, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, the match it's like I sadly didn't read this one too much. I can only kind of skim through it, but it's like it seemed like a competently written match. Interesting way how things kind of turn more to Godzillasaurus' favor, despite Ghidorah's nerf. Honestly, I didn't read this too hard into this one when it came out, so.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Well, I read it, so you're welcome.
Yes. Alright. Nagoda, what did you think of King Ghidorah versus Godzillasaurus?
It was a really fun match, and then one thing I'd like to say is the Battle of the Retirees, and apparently we can see that the older retiree lost his match.
Well, we can't have Ghidorah winning every... Like, we had to make sure that Ghidorah still lost. I mean, it wouldn't be right if we had him win. It wouldn't be right if we had him win.
Yeah, I think someone in the freaking forum said it best. King Ghidorah Heisei doesn't deserve to win if he can't beat Godzilla in his weakest state.
Not a bad assumption.
Yeah. But yeah, freaking did you give any like additional thoughts, Nagoda? Anything else you want to express, or?
I don't really think so.
Okay. All
All
right, Landon. What'd you think of your own match that you wrote, or any particular insight you can give to this match?
Well, it was requested by Pitch Black Progress, and I thought it was a neat idea. Problem was, I mean, I tried to figure out a way so the match wouldn't turn one-sided. So I figured, well, why not just shrink him down and like make it appear like he's younger, like he was literally just born and wasn't finished growing yet.
Which was a neat idea.
Yeah, and that would give Godzillasaurus at least some chance to fight. And then, yeah, that's the premise I went with. And I really enjoyed everyone's reaction to Godzillasaurus winning.
The reaction was so positive, it broke the site.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay, that was a good one.
Broke the site. That's what happened.
But no, yeah, good job there. Otherwise, the next two.
No, Joe still needs to give his thoughts.
Oh,
what do you think?
Sorry. Yes, Joe.
I haven't read this one either.
Okay, we can skip over him then.
I mean, you can read it right now.
You
It's in the
offend
Go in the
Discord.
corner of shame.
But no, I did want to mention that the next match should be in. The next match should be releasing most likely, hopefully in like probably next week or so, depending on when the site comes back up. And then you got one more match that should be that'll come up after that. Both done by different writers. So yeah, you definitely different styles, and yeah, keep an eye out for those two. And then Godzillasaurus will be retired after that match. No matter what, you send me a submission, you send me anything, I am turning it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also make note of this going forward. I think I'm going to be. I think I'll be changing my execution idea as well for how I retire monsters. I don't think I'm going to give so much of a buffer room because there were so many people that were like, I just want to write a match, and they submitted a match.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, for sure. I feel like that might not have been the best way to go, but at the same time, dude kind of needed more matches. So I think it's good that he has a substantial amount of matches now. So that way when he's gone, it's just kind of like, okay, there's nothing. Because my problem back in, I remember thinking back in the heyday of King Ghidorah's retirement was, this guy has not been used to his fullest. It was like, my issue was not even, part of my issue was he didn't win a single match before being retired. But my issue was, you could do stuff with this guy. And I'm currently working in progress on at least one or two matches that feature Heisei Ghidorah. Nothing too crazy, but hopefully something that'll be like, oh, that's a cool idea for it to do with this character.
I mean, you already have one.
Yeah, I already have one. I'm working on one.
You already done Yag against King Ghidorah.
Oh, yeah,
Heisei.
that one.
Yeah, I'm working on that one. And then there's another one I want to do, just, kind of a kick of... just kind of like a fun match with Ghidorah in my own style, but it was just like, I just wanted to write with this character and then have him freaking win. or have him in a draw or something where he earns wins and draws and not just losses. So.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah,
I mean, it already happened once.
But that's the rule.
That's
one of the KWC rules. Ghidorah must not win.
Except
Unless it's April Fool's Day.
what do you mean?
Look, he already won his return match.
Yeah, his return match was a win.
He
And
needed
that's all he
help.
gets.
Needed help. Damn it, you got me. Damn it. But I think going forward we're probably not going to be leaving as much buffer room for any other monsters we plan to retire. They're just going to be snapped and they're going to be Thanos.
Yeah, it'll be far less. It'll be like, heads up, this monster's getting retired, and it's going to be... So, my recommendation is, if I give you the inclination that the monster's going to be retired, I would highly recommend that you don't quickly then just rush out 20 matches of them, because...
Right.
I will.
No.
I'll write so many Sanda matches.
But yeah, I hear
And
you.
now I perfectly predicted Sanda will be retired.
Maybe Frankenstein. I don't know.
Honestly, neither of those two am I. I'm really not... Frankenstein...
Yeah, Frankenstein.
Maybe, but honestly, he is Toho, so he does have that, like... I wouldn't mind... Or I'm not wouldn't mind. I think he's going to stick around. The bigger one would probably be King Ghidorah Hesai after the
2019.
That's the one that's going to be like, let's see what this Ghidorah can do.
Totally.
Oh, and actually, speaking of the topic of retiring monsters and reasons why, the last thing for Godzillasaurus, there was an argument that I noticed on the forum, which was, well, if you don't like if you didn't like this, then how does the Titan scale better than Godzillasaurus? And my answer to that is they also made Kumusagami and such. And I'm saying my counterpoint is yes, those can be giant, but they also have abilities that when they're put up to against a kaiju, they look right. Mm-hmm. Obviously, with the size wise, and it also works on the basis of their abilities. Like Kumasugami versus Godzilla, as much as I joke, he had trouble, cutting through stone. What chances does he have against cutting through Godzilla's skin? He actually has a decent variety in regards to his abilities and such.
Right, you can make the match interesting based on the powers that they have. Even the Titans, even though they're hand-to-hand fist guys, it's their mobility and flexibility that could help make the matches very dynamic and different.
Exactly.
So, and even among the two Titans we have in the roster right now, both of them would be very differently styled fighters. Like Rogue Titan will be more of the I guess kind of like martial arts wielding / Street Fighter, or not Street Fighter, but street fighting type of hits. Whereas something like the Colossal Titan would be much larger and much slower. So it's like his method of attack might be different.
I can imagine him just throwing monsters around.
Well, that's possible. Right. That's possible. That is possible.
Well, yeah, and again, the Titans also you can imagine them fighting others. Mm-hmm. Godzillasaurus, it's much harder just because, no offense to his execution, when you scale him up to the maximum size, and this is always been my problem, is if he's the size of, let's say, Gigan, then Godzilla's also the same size as Gigan. Yeah. It's almost like scaling Mothra larva up to being oh yeah, and he's also the size of the worm creature from Godzilla the series, just so we can fight Zilla. It's what? It's that seems a little excessive, and it doesn't seem in character. You think that Mothra larva would just turn into Mothra to fight Zilla or something? You know what I mean? That kind of mental block has always hit me, and that's just for me why it's a little. I would rather use another type than go with I'd rather get another Godzilla than Godzillasaurus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It's also not only that, Godzillasaurus just isn't really that much of a fighter. His character was never built on fighting. So I think that was kind of, like, granted, you could argue it's like, oh, you know, Mothra Leo wasn't built for fighting, even though, like, Mothra Leo can, or Mothra Larva can fight, I'd argue. But it's like even the scaling isn't that much of an issue with the larvas, just because they're big. The larvas are friggin' big.
Yeah.
They're big
But-
babies.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I still get the idea, like, but Godzillasaurus is even more of a baby. We'll just put it at that.
Yep. But yeah, keep an eye out for the next matches. They should be coming up the site whenever it, does actually want to come back. In the meantime, I guess we'll head over to Shintember.
Yes, absolutely. So over the course of September, the KWCE has been holding its first Kaiju month, its own Kaiju month, with August.
Yay.
Yeah, funny enough, we get two Kaiju months back to back. First August and now Shintember. So, and honestly, friggin' Shintember wasn't meant to be Shintember. It was meant to be, I think, it was meant to be in oh man,
I think it said October or November.
I think it was like October or November of last year. But then Joe said, I think it was Joe specifically that said, "Why not September Shintember?" I'm like,
Yeah,
damn it, that's
I
too
remember
good.
that.
Damn it, that's too good. So I delayed the entire thing for this month. Which
The name was so good, you delayed it all.
yes. But honestly, I'm kind of glad because it seemed like a lot of the guys I asked to write matches for wound up needing the time they needed. Like Birdman's match with Shintemper is pretty big, so it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. I like the way. Granted, Birdman's as of this recording, Birdman's match has not gone up. It will be the last match of Shintember. To close it off. Because I think it actually does utilize Shin Godzilla's abilities to a very, very interesting, way of handling his adaptations. So it's like, ooh, that's kind of cool. I like that. So you'll see it when you read it. But
Does it have the other two evolutions?
no, yeah, I guess just to go over it very briefly. The Birdman match only features the fourth form, but it utilizes his adaptation ability to some very interesting. It uses it to a very interesting, effect.
Ah.
So you'll have to see it when you read it because it's pretty good. So I only had to make one minor edit, just because there was a very specific description that I was like, yes. I get why that's there. I am not particularly comfortable with how that particular hole is referenced. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So that might have been TMI. I don't know. I don't care. Anyway, we'll jump right into.
Was it like the Space Godzilla match with Gazora?
Yes and no.
Ah.
Yeah, I know it sounds beautifully cryptic, but anyway, first match we'll go over for Shintember is Godzilla vs. Rayquaza's Destroya vs. Godzilla Shin by Godzilla vs. Rayquaza. I just said that. And the beautiful image you see presented to you was quickly done by Nagoda. Hot damn.
Just right now.
I wish that was the actual banner, because, man, that looks super good.
Don't worry, when the farm
Yeah,
goes
it looks-
back up, you can
it looks
just
great.
fix it really quick.
Fair enough. But yeah, I think
Don't
this
worry,
one...
I'm doing the next banner right now.
Right. Banners being made to you live. Okay. Yeah, I think this was a rather fun match. The way it ended was rather unexpected. at least to me. But then it was also kind of like, oh, that's, huh. Of course, when I received the match, I didn't know, like, it didn't specify who the winner was, so I kind of gave it to the monster who won. But honestly,
That makes sense.
all right. Yeah, it's just kind of like the way the ending played off to me just seemed like, even though it does infer it's like, we'll fight another day kind of thing, it's like, it's also kind of like, yeah, Monster A definitively did this to you, leaving you in a suspended state where you can't really do anything for right now. So as far as I'm concerned, Monster A won that one.
Well, the same kind of thing happened with the Gazora versus Gororan match, and that one had originally, who was it that one? It was it just made note Gazora won. I'm like, no, Gazora retreated, and Gororan is now unable to fight as well. So, draw.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that was a match that definitely benefited from a draw, but this is in August, this is September. Anyway, but yeah, I do get the circumstances, how that correlates with that. But yeah, I mean, this was an overall fun match. Like, a decent way to kick off Shintember, I'd say. So, my question is, did anybody read Destroyer vs. Godzilla Shin?
Yes.
Oh, finally
Yes.
a reader.
Oh, finally a reader.
Oh,
Ooh, yo, Nagoda, these are turning out so good. How are you doing?
Not really. That one was just I just stuck those in.
Yeah, you just stuck them both there together and great.
Ditto, you gotta remake.
Yeah, Ditto remake it right now, live.
Dark magic. I'm
But
pretty sure
we'll,
that's how it's done.
All right, well, we'll show it to them when it's ready. So.
your
I
turn
like
to
the
remake this
band.
Ditto.
Pardon?
All right.
I was reading what Nagoda said.
All right. But yeah. Ditto, what did you think of Destroyer vs. Godzilla?
I thought it was pretty good. I like the fight between the aggregates and I think it's the second form, because I think the aggregate almost beats him, but then Shin retreats and then comes back, and then we finally get final form Destroyer versus I get fourth form Shin.
Oh
The fight was really good. I honestly like the way it played out. I'd say it was a good start for Shintemba.
So what you're saying is we actually should blame Shintember for breaking the site.
Yeah, maybe. Even though the
What happened
KWC
weeks ago.
Right. Even though the KWCE clearly doesn't get enough attention compared to the KWC, but I guess you could blame it.
Yeah. No, Birdman's match was so big when Kaiju X tried to post it in the forums, it just crashed the whole site.
Yeah, I tried to post it in the forums when I even had plans to post it in the forums till the 30th. The site saw it and was like, no, that match is too big. I will crash now. That's what happens. Gosh darn it. Wait, anyone else read Destroyer vs. Godzilla? Anyone?
Oh yeah. I like the constant transforming battle that they had.
Yeah, I really like that too. I particularly liked how, the way second and third form Shin handled Destroyer was actually really cool. Then, got to the fourth form and had fun, so.
That sounds pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, decent use of both monsters' transformations now that I think about it.
Wow, really cool banner, by the way.
By freaking Nagoda, who just made it up on the fly. It looks kind of neat, even though the Godzilla in the match isn't really frozen, but whatever. Wait.
Honestly, the Godzilla in the match, if you would have been darkened a little bit, I think it'd work out a little bit better, just a little bit more color correction. But if you just made this on the fly, Destroyer looks amazing.
Oh, that banner! I thought you were talking about the Rodan one.
What? No. The,
Yeah, okay, the Destroyer banner. Duh, obviously.
yeah. Yeah, that. But no, yeah. Otherwise, it was I skimmed the Rodan one real quick. I thought that one was good. I did not get a chance to go over the Destroyer one, so I have no comment on that one.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
I might have would have pretended to read it and skim it over, but sadly, Toho Kingdom is still not agreeing. Ugh.
That's why I posted the match in the chat.
See, that's too convenient, Kaiju X.
Well, Kaiju X, it doesn't agree either.
Dang it! Alright, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, Destroyer one? Yeah, Nagoda, you were going to say some additional thoughts on the Destroyer one, yeah?
What?
I thought you had something more to say about the Destroyer match.
I thought I already went.
Oh,
I
yeah,
said
that's-
that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
I
right.
like that.
That's right. They used transformations. That's right. Joe, did you happen to read Destroyer match, or was that another one you just didn't get?
I did not, even though I came up with the Shin Timber name.
Clear. You bring shame to this family.
Gosh darn it.
But yeah, figured. Yeah, I guess with that said, we'll pass on. We'll hop on over to the next match that came up in Shintember is Godzilla Shin versus Rodan Heisei. Funny enough, the off.
Wait, Kaiju X.
Yeah.
Where's the location of the giant call one? The location?
The deserted planet from Power Rangers.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, what's the place called?
The deserted planet from Power Rangers.
They're very.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, of course, yeah. Compared to other deserted planets, like most of Dragon Ball, that deserted planet that has like 5 cities on it.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not the desert planet? I think the desert.
Oh,
planet-
you were oh, deserted. I was thinking like a giant desert planet, not actual deserted.
Oh, I just needed to take a city
We're not
and then
going
turn
back
it
to Jakku.
red hued.
Pretty much. And add metal balls into the sky.
Okay. Exilian ships, here we go.
They're not even exilian ships, they're just metal balls.
Okay.
Touche. Here, guys. Back in a second.
Alright, gotcha.
Okay.
Alright, so as Grey Shot has abandoned us, anyway. Yeah,
He
as I
left
was.
us.
Yes, he
He's
left.
gone.
It's alright.
Let's all run.
It's alright.
He
we'll be
left us.
fine. I'll take care of you.
Oh no.
Oh no. Anyway, Godzilla vs. Rodan by Hilly Hulk was actually originally meant to be a KWC submission that he had in mind. But, given the current undetermined status of Shin Godzilla's inclusion in the KWC, we are, the match, he ultimately sent this match to me, and I did some major... Okay, if there's anything I distinctly remember about this match, is I did some major revising to the prologue leading up to the fight. Like, a lot of the fight itself just required a lot of, grammatical, just a lot of, punctuation, tensing edits. Yeah, and maybe just some adjustments to the sentences here and there to make it more dynamic and make sure it's not as floofy. But I'll be 100% honest, the initial prologue that was written, I did not like. It was way... Oh, where do I start? It had way too much setup, which didn't really allow you to sit on it. It was all setup that didn't have any real depth. It was just kind of like, 1 month after the events of Shin Godzilla, freaking, whatchamacallit, it's like, the government was trying to clean up the radiation dumps so that way Shin Godzilla isn't made again. And they also clean up Adana Island, where two pteranodons, eat people. Then, for whatever reason, 3 years later, they send a rescue team. 3 years later, why, I don't know.
That's a little late.
Yeah, it's a little late. Yeah, it's like, at that point, the two pteranodons are returned to Rodan, so it's like, oh, great. And it was like the idea of, like the match infers that, it's like the two, like the Rodans and Godzilla were basically spawned for the same radiation. That to me is cool. That's a cool idea. I like that. But the way it was all handled was very needlessly. There was just way too much setup and didn't get to the fight fast enough. So I had to wind up completely. I think like the first 2, 3, 4, like the first 5 indentations of that match it had to be written by me, just because it was like if you're looking at the document, the original prologue was about 1.5 pages long, and I basically condensed it down to half a page.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, yeah, there was just so much excessive fluff that just did not to be there. And plus there was also a lot of like really not. Well, there was also some other decisions that I did not particularly agree with, like it also tried to be specific with the time, but I don't think it was understood how should I put it? It tried to specify time distance, or how long it takes to get from one side to another. So it's like,
right.
It takes an hour and 16 minutes or something to get from Shinjuku to Narita. It's like, okay, yeah, that's by car. The original version had them pile on meat to lure the Rodans to Godzilla, which would have taken over an hour, but that doesn't
Isn't
make
that a
sense.
Gauss plot?
One, that's a Gauss plot. Two, why would you need to do that? All you have to do is they fly at Mach 3 times the speed of sound. You could just make sure you shoot them with missiles, fly over to Godzilla, and then that Rodans will notice Godzilla. That's what I had to change it to. Alright, Great Shot's back. Yay.
Yes.
So,
Back.
yeah, so far I've just been rambling on about how many changes I've had to make to this. The prologue of this match I had to make a lot of changes to. So, just because it was not. Let me put it this way. If you're looking at the document right now, look at the first 5 indentations. That's what I had to write. The original prologue was a page and a half. Yeah, a page and a half of shallow world building. Really shallow world building.
Oof.
And I hate. I will not hold back with what I say. But it's like, I will say this, like, the actual fight itself I think is decent. Could have been, like, I revised it to make it better naturally. I want to make it bring out the best elements of these, even if it's simplistic. But it is also kind of like the match, like the actual fight, I think is alright. But there was a prologue here that just did not need to be here. So I just wound up simplifying it, made sure all the key points were still addressed, and then went from there.
Interesting.
So, I'm sorry if I rambled on too long on that one. Yeah, this was definitely like one of 2 I had to make major revisions to while a lot of like editing when looking these things over. So, but yeah, the fight itself, again, decent match overall. So, overall decent match. Just had way too much of a prologue that went on for too long and didn't make any logical sense. Despite the fact that the match tried to infer this was that its version was the logical way to go when it really wasn't. So, Hilly Hulk, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry if I sound very blunt. That's just what I just need to lay down some legit criticisms that I had. Sorry I couldn't tell it to your face.
That makes sense. Haley Hulk is a relatively newer writer.
Right. He's a newer writer. I think he's got some interesting stuff, but there are just other elements that are like, no, this is not how you convey a story. Make sure it's more condensed, simplified. Because it's like, you don't need to make it long if it doesn't warrant it to be long. Heck, one thing I remember from match 155, Black Moth versus Maguma, was that there was a point where I had some exposition explaining why Black Moth was doing what she was doing, but then later in the match I wound up found a better scene that relayed that exposition that was like, oh, okay, I don't need exposition 1 because I have exposition 2 to do it for me in a much better fashion. So yeah, it's like, you don't need to include every single thing you write. Sometimes you can cut things out. You can afford to cut things out. That's all I have to say.
Okay, alright.
Alright. So in the meantime, Gracia, or I guess who read Godzilla Shin versus Rodan Heisei? Who read it? Raise your hand.
I did.
Yes, everyone, raise your hand. Well, I skimmed it, and I did like the fact that there were the 2 Rodans in this match.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the writing symbol is really simple. It is fast, a little too fast for its own good. It should add a little bit more details in.
Oh, yeah.
But it was not bad. The only thing I will say is it felt like for Godzilla, and that's my problem with Shin. Maybe a little criticism for Shin is it's hard to tell when he's actually damaged. Like, it's hard to tell when they're actually pushing through. You know, actually on the edge, like actually can kill something that can regenerate. You know what I mean? Like more so than like it's kind of like GMK. It's like you don't know when you're actually if you're actually dealing damage or if you're just ticking him off.
Mm-hmm, right. I think that's actually kind of a interesting benefit for Shin, because it's kind of like it's an ambiguity of whether you're actually doing substantial damage that'll kill him off or not. I'd argue that's a pro, but it's all right if you think that's a con. You know, we all think differently.
Maybe it's because I've been watching a show that has an overpowered character that I'm now grown to absolutely hate. I'm not watching the show anymore. Maybe that's the reason why I felt like a little bit of animosity to that fact. That I just got really annoyed. So that, again, that might just be the reader's mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, let's face it, this is the Kaiju fan base, Godzilla fan base particularly. They love overpowered monsters. Let's be real.
Yeah. And they love making underpowered monsters kick their kick their ass. Gabra.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's overall Haley Hulk, I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he he needs to add a little bit more detail. Not in regards to like adding items, but just slowing down the action a bit.
Mm-hmm. Right, making sure certain actions have a certain sense of weight.
Yeah, because like in one I pulled it up now. Like one instance is when Rodan like the radar activates as Rodan like maneuvers and then hits his head. Like there's so much yet Rodan is like far away. When you're imagining that when I imagine that in my head, that action taking place, Rodan would have to be going like the words move too fast for the image that plays in, like when the person's imagining in their head. That's at least for me. Like I imagine like evasion, and it's just like then it flies down and aims and hits, and you need to slow it down.
Yeah,
you need to add a little bit more detail. Add some detail in Rodan, like barely missing the fire, risking to like. Add a little bit more detail to the attack and don't just have a bunch of attacks. That's what I'd recommend to any writer.
Oh,
is
absolutely.
Make every action count. Make the actions you write count, because if you make a monster throw 1,000 punches and another writer makes a really another match where the monster only throws one incredible punch, everyone's going to remember the match with the one incredible punch, not the one where the 1,000 punches are thrown.
All right. The 1,000 punch would only be really impressive, maybe in a more visual format, like a visual medium.
Yep.
But for a novel or for prose, when you're writing, make that one highly detailed punch count.
Yep.
So if that's the highlight you want to give off, like if you want to highlight a very specific moment, like, oh, this is a key moment here, detail it. If not, you can kind of skim over it and let it be.
And if you want like a good example, again, I would highly recommend if you want a good structure to base your writings off of, or like to just in general, I would recommend for the KWC, Thomas Singleton in regards to narrative. Knock him all you will in regards to his like what the terms he uses, but Thomas Singleton, Christian Salibert, again, it's not the most amazing, but he does a great example when the action kicks up. Andrew over here does a great example, or like some awesome work, especially when he and Harley go to a project, look at Godzilla vs. Bagan or any of their other co-op works. Or Kashawn Johnson, I would say, is also another one that really can nail emotion when it comes to the action. Look no further than Monster X vs. Iris.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd recommend look at their story structures and then see how you can maybe implement or take some things from them. As they say, plagiarism is what was that? Copying is the...
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
There we go.
Don't encourage plagiarism, kids.
Yeah, plagiarism, but imitate a style is never bad. I based my style off Thomas.
Oh, so have I, actually. I think I based a lot of my style on Tom, because I read a lot of his matches back in the day, and I think it's helped me, whether Alex likes it or not. But yeah, did anyone else read Godzilla vs. Rodan?
Wait, did I go yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, Ditto, you can go first.
Okay. So I think this is probably the weakest Shin Timber match so far.
Mm.
If I had to rank them, I think Giant Claw versus Shin and Destroya are kind of on the same level, and then Rodan is just
below that,
right under it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still a fun little match to read, just to breeze through. So it really isn't much else to say. Kaiju X kind of nailed a lot of stuff on the head. And so yeah, it was just a good match, and that was about it.
Alright.
What about you, Nagoda?
Hold on, let me refresh my memory, because I've been looking over the other Shin match really quick. Well, I guess everything that I was going to say has already been said already. So.
Oh, alright. Alright, did you have anything else to elaborate on, Nagoda, or you think you're good?
I think I'm good. Ditto, I'm still waiting for you to make that remake banner.
Totally. Ditto, on that, now.
Hurry up, Ditto, I've already made 3. It's your turn.
Okay.
But yeah, Joe, did you read Godzilla vs. Rodan?
I did. I brought more shame to the family.
I see. If you haven't read the next one, then you'll definitely have brought all the shame. That'll be your homework tonight, son. By next month, you will tell us your opinions of the 3 matches.
Read all 5 of these matches.
Oh yeah, all 5 of these matches.
For every match you don't read, we cut off a finger.
Joe, you would have lost all your fingers and toes by the time you that time came. But alright.
Ooh, that looks good.
I like the way. Yeah. Speaking of which, we'll head on to the next and final KWCE for now. I hope I'm not missing any. I really hope I'm not. Shin Godzilla vs. La Canage. With the.
That's how you pronounce it?
I have no idea how you pronounce it, truth be told. I'm just going to say it that way because I like the way it comes out of my mouth.
Can I see something right now for the banner?
I thought it was La
Screw
Carne.
having red skies. Everything's in black and
Oh
white.
yeah,
Who
Kakarne.
cares?
That's probably it. Kakarne.
Is it? Okay, well, everything's in black and white now.
Big as a battleship.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright, so this was another one I'll also have to admit I had to do a butt ton of revising on. Not for the same reasons that I had to do for the other one. Like, as far as like getting to the point go, As far as getting to the point goes, Godzilla versus La Concarne, got to the fight.
The giant claw.
Yeah, Giant Claw, fine. Godzilla vs. Giant Claw got to the point really quick. It was like, cool. I will admit, there were plenty of sentences that either elaborated too much or elaborated too much in a way that felt stuffy or repeated words a lot. Now, I tried to replace a lot of the words that I could, but I think that's kind of like the biggest problem with the style I'm noticing so far is repetition. There's way too much of the same words being used, and way too much of the same kind of actions being used.
Yeah, what is this, a gray shot match?
Yeah, right. But yeah, some of them I didn't mind, like Saurus, like Godzilla being described as a Saurus. It's like, okay, fine, that's not one I'm familiar with. I'm not going to change that.
Well, why does it say Saurus? I'm used to seeing Saurian.
Oh, right. Maybe that was the idea that was supposed to go down. I don't know. I just found it different, and I was like, screw it, keeping it. But yeah, so far, this is just, Godzilla vs. Giant Claw by Venom 2009. I completely forgot to announce that, but anyway, with a wonderful banner quickly made wonderful banner by Nagoda. Fantastic job, my dude.
Yay. Black and white, because I'm too lazy to do color.
Heck yeah. It's one way to evade it, man. I mean, to be fair, how would you color Giant Claw anyway, so...
I mean, I saw one colored picture, but that was a DeviantArt thing.
Okay, DeviantArt thing. Yep, as I figured. But, yeah, this one is, like, it's got some decent moments, some decent highlights. I particularly like the way Godzilla first uses his atomic breath, and then how Giant Claw just uses her antimatter shield, which I'm not sure that's how it is in the actual movie that's, like, put up as an actual barrier. I think it's a little closer to the anime Godzilla's permeable shield, where it's just kind of, like, consistently exists.
Always there.
Yeah, just always there, and just kind of, dissipates matter. So I don't think it's quite a shield that, I don't think it's quite that kind of shield, but still. I kind of ran with it just because it was like, it was coming close. I was a little late to uploading it, and I just kind of wanted to get it out of the way. So if it's inaccurate, I apologize, but I think some of the flexibilities here, gosh darn it.
I was gonna say, I think it is she can turn it off and on because like the thing lands on a building and the building doesn't vaporize. It stays remain. So the antimatter shield was supposed to be like around the thing. And if I recall, how they kill it is a missile that can pierce it somehow.
It was like I think they like sprayed something that neutralized the shield, and then they shot missiles at her. I believe that's how it went down. So
Maybe what really happened was they found where it went to the bathroom and decided let's stick a missile in that and try to shoot it.
My point is if the match really went on, then the bird would just give Shin Godzilla a hug and it would just vaporize.
Oh, pretty much.
Go Beerus, God of Destruction, just watch it atomize.
That would actually be really cool. One-sided is all hell, but kind of cool. That would be a much better use of the antimatter shield.
So you're saying the Giant Claw is actually just a pet to the God of Destruction?
Yes?
Yes.
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 But yeah,
Yes.
I kind of like the way it's set up too in a weird way. Like the fact that it's like, just the simple case of two monsters pit on this planet, on this deserted planet, and just like are left to fight with no inhabitants around is actually kind of neat because it's like why are they there? What are they doing there? Well, okay, they're clearly fighting each other, but it was just kind of like it's kind of like and then it's like you get to the end and it's like the monster is now like now they have to find their way back home, and it's like that's kind of cool. It's like I don't think it's considered. I wouldn't consider this one the strongest of the bunch, but it's still like it is a decent match all around. It just had a lot of repetition that I wound up getting rid of. Like there was a whole extra scene where Godzilla once again thwacks the giant claw with his tail. And it was just like, we already got that twice. So, yeah.
But 3 times the charm.
Apparently. Not with me. It's twice and that's it. But freaking, yeah, it's like, this is a decent match all around, but it was just like, you know, just a lot of revisions needed. If there are any problems as far as repetition goes, that's just decide what I kept in, because I felt like that was alright from a narrative perspective. Even
Wait,
if...
so Kaiju,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
since 3 times the charm and you said twice is enough, does that mean you like the drop kick better than Godzilla slamming King Ghidorah 3 times?
Yes. That is correct. That is completely correct. You know what? Even in Godzilla vs. King... Wait, Godzilla vs. Guy and Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah.
Both, Gigan had the slamming.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right?
had the overhead slam, and then Heisei one had the, you know, slam him down. The Heisei one I'm fine with, actually. I kind of like the way it's shot. There was a certain sense of weight and conveyance to that one that I kind of liked. Godzilla vs. Gigan, though, when he slammed Ghidorah in that, I always felt like 3 times was excessive in that movie. Honestly. I was like, I'd rather just, you know, just do it twice in two cool angles, and then, you know, let Ghidorah fly off.
Should have done it 4 times.
Maybe.
Kept it an even number.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, overall, yeah, Godzilla versus Giant Claw, interesting match. And to my understanding, it's not going to get a sequel, but if anyone can write one, go ahead. So, great shot. Or I guess I shouldn't specify. I should say, who read Godzilla vs. Giant Claw?
I honestly did not. I didn't realize there was a Shin Godzilla versus Giant Claw.
Right. Anyone read this one? Anyone?
I did.
Okay, what'd you think of it, Nagoda?
I thought it was pretty interesting. I like the fatality at the end.
Oh yeah, the fatality was actually really cool. Any other...
I also read it.
Oh, okay, alright. What'd you think of it,
I
Ditto?
think that's all I have to say.
Alright.
Pardon?
Oh no, Nagoda just said that was all he had to say. So, Ditto, you go ahead and speak your words.
Oh, okay. It's just... Okay, oh wait, just give me a second.
Don't you mean a hot second?
Deep blasted.
So yeah, I read the thing, and I thought it was a good one, up there with Destroyer one. If there was to be a sequel, I think it would be cool if Shin like somehow turned himself into a rocket and like I don't know how, like get off the planet.
Huh, or being able to adapt to... that would be a very, very strange adaptation, I'll say that.
I think I saw
Yeah.
a picture of Shin flying like a rocket.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
That would be pretty interesting.
It would be, but yeah, other than that, that's all I really have to say about it.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
Plastic.
Well, in that case, then, is that everyone in regards to the match?
Joe, did you happen to read this one? No, you didn't? Okay. Seriously, did you or did you not?
I did not read it.
Okay, greatest shame to the family yet. Alright. Yeah, I think that'll thusly conclude. Yeah, I think that thus concludes all the KWCs we've had to cover. So, you're under arrest by the corn hippie police. Okay, I have to put this one up. Oh man, this is great. For me in particular. Oh, I'm glad the friggin' image is gone.
For Kaiju X.
You're under arrest by the corn hippie police. Oh man, I have to keep that one in mind. Holy frick, that was funny. That was friggin' funny.
Hippie police.
Did I even spell it right? I don't even know if I spelled this. If I spelled
I
them
think you
right.
spelled it right.
Corn hip, yeah, corn hippie police. Yep, that's how you spell that particular kind of hippie. Hippie.
Well, here, if you guys are interested, what we could do is, I know we haven't done so in a while, since we don't have access to Toho Kingdom, we could go over the analytics for the year.
Okay, yeah, oh, that's gonna be, oh, I can't get, oh,
So
then again, I don't, yeah, generally by the time we get done about talking about matches, I don't edit the video anymore anyway, so... Or actually, before we go over the analytics, Joe, I think, has something he wants to express concerning a different subject matter and concerning a very recent movie.
Wait, actually,
okay.
Kaiju X, I have a question for you.
Yes, what is it?
Do you remember 21st Night Shintember?
Huh?
That would be a no.
Never mind. Forget it.
Oh, the 21st
Dr.
night
Ray.
of Shintember.
21st? 21st?
That's still great.
Wait.
But
The fall, isn't that the day of fall begins? The
No,
fall of
it's
Shin
really
Godzilla. It all makes sense.
Oh boy, if that's the case, you're gonna love the next match that comes up then, depending on how it goes down. Technically, with Shintember, there's one guaranteed planned for the end of the month. That's guaranteed. I already have it. It's already been checked over, already edited. It's ready to go. I'm saving it for the end of the month. But I have one match I'm writing personally that I want to see if I can get it done in a reasonable time.
ooh.
So, but yeah, the way the match or the way Shintember's going to end, I think will fit within the theme of the 21st. So, spoilers.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
So yeah. Anyway, Joe, let's segue into a completely random topic of the Predator.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Yes, you are. Go. What do you have to say?
So, I am a pretty big fan of the Predator series. I like half the movies pretty fine. They have kind of a weird slope. I think the first one is great. Predator 2 is alright. AVP is AVP. Requiem is terrible. Predators is pretty good. And now we have this one. The Predator.
Even though there's more than one.
And
Well, no, it's the Predator. There is only one Predator.
yeah, only one Predator. No more, no less. But, I saw this movie, and... well, first the positives, I guess. And it'll be pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one action sequence where the Predator is actually using a machine gun. If it's okay to
You can go ahead with
spoil
full
stuff.
spoil. You can go
Okay.
ahead and spoil the whole movie, man. I don't have any real
All right.
place to see it, so.
So the Predator is using a machine gun, and I don't think that's ever been done, and it's pretty cool. And it's a pretty interesting thing to see. And there were a few good jokes. I really like this one that's near the end where the human villain says that his squad outnumbers the main character's squad by 1, and then the guy next to him gets shot. I thought that was really, really funny. And
Yeah, there's some good jokes in this.
There were a few.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
actually sounds like a decent joke. Like, I have more than you, and then just like the one guy just dies. Yeah, I can see how that could be really funny, actually, or at least kind of funny.
Yeah.
Well, there's also
there-
some good deaths as well. Like, there's a guy that has like a Predator arm cannon, and he's like, you know how like every time the Predator looks, it follows you where you're looking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a moment where a guy literally turns. He's like, "I got him!" He's looking at the Predator. He fires, and the cannon is not aimed at the Predator. It's actually kind of aimed at his head because his head is blocking, so he just blows his own head off.
Oh,
I thought he looked at the last second. Like, he was about to shoot the Predator, but then he looked to his side, and then the gun followed.
Yeah, oh no, it was following the Predator, and what happened was he traced him. It was so quick, I will admit, it wasn't good, but, you know, it kind of worked to a bit.
I kind of thought that was stupid, but the funny kind of stupid.
Yeah, this movie definitely has a lot of, I don't know, funny type of stupid type of thing.
Yeah. There's that one scene where the kid accidentally blows up a house. I thought that was kind of funny. But there was not really any consequence to that.
I mean,
Murders
Like,
children.
he's a little
Hooray.
autistic kid. And it just has no impact on him. At all.
I mean, listen, he only ignores it and does something completely different in the span of a few seconds. So, you know,
The movie also kind of looks good. There's some good use of a few good uses of practical effects, mostly with the smaller Predator. He's a guy in a suit, and he looks really good.
Mhm. That's the one thing for the trailers that seemed promising. To like when I saw like I only saw the first trailer, and the fact that it was a practical effect, I was like, awesome. You know what? That's great. I love that.
Yep. He looks really, really good in the movie. He's probably the best effect in the movie. And that's all the positives.
All right, lay down the negatives because I am looking forward to
Yes.
this.
So, some of these might be nitpicks, maybe. But, I think the humor was meh. I thought a few jokes landed, but, like, there weren't many good jokes. At least to me. And they come at such a fast rate, I just get tired of it. and there's some that go on for way too long, like it's in the trailer. They say that they call the aliens predators, and Olivia Munn says, well, it's not a predator, it's more like a hunter or something. And it goes on for so long, and they do it twice. And it's not funny.
Something like that, I think, for me, like, haven't seen the movie, so I can't wholly say whether or not it's like, okay, I mean, obviously something like that isn't funny, but I felt like it at least would have been kind of funny if it were only acknowledged once.
Yeah.
As someone that has seen the movie, I will say that the characters are probably action is as well. The main problem, though, is the plot most sense in most ways, especially halfway through. Especially the plot just takes a nosedive; it never recovers from, and it plunges the whole movie into mediocrity the moment it does it. However, the beginning portion, the alien, minus again, the problem with the first half is the first half of the movie is tainted by the second, but the first half of the movie is still, for the most part, solid. Like, again, the action's good, the breakout sequence is great, the character setup is good, some of the jokes, not all work, so it sets itself up to be a good movie and then just plunges into to B-movie schlock. It's, I would say, overall fun, but it's not overall good. It's just
There is something that happens in the beginning that when you get some context later, it doesn't make sense. Like, the smaller predator went to Earth to to give the humans a gift to defeat the predators that are going to invade Earth sometime, but the predator kills a lot of people, and he's supposed to be like saving them. He's supposed to be the good guy predator.
Yeah, it's set up.
Many people.
It's set up, that this is a good character that wouldn't do that. Yeah, again, he's trying to save humanity, but at the end of the day, he like murders a whole bunch, which again I think is the major problem of rewrites and script changes, because there were supposed to be other good predators in this movie, and I think his character definitely suffered for it. But to be fair, also everything that you make note about the Predator was noted by people that never talked to him, that only assumed his motives after. For all we know, he could have crash landed on Earth, and the thing he gave to humanity was meant for him, and he never wanted humanity to have it. Because everything the humans guess about him ends up at the end of the movie being absolutely wrong. The only thing they guessed right was the fact that spoilers, but the Predator is taking human DNA and they're enhancing themselves with other creatures' DNA and such.
You know what? I just realized
which is stupid.
Yeah, because if that was happening, where's the acidic blood for the ultimate?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it have acidic blood?
It's spinal fluid.
It's still.
I mean, you're still getting the DNA. It's like
spinal fluid different from blood.
I mean, you still get DNA from it, I would assume, but it's still stupid regardless.
How does spinal fluid work?
It just does.
Do you milk it like a cow?
No, I'm guessing there's just a little bit left. You don't need much, I would assume. I don't know. In any case, for me, the movie overall comes down to it's dumb fun that could have been a good movie, but it ended up just being bad. And that's why, for me, I'd give it like a 5. It's if you like the Predator movies, you're probably gonna be disappointed. You're not gonna probably like what they do to the canon in some respects. In other respects, it doesn't do bad things with the canon. It does some interesting action, decent characters that are, while not maybe the most memorable, are entertaining in the movie that they're in. And yeah, that's pretty much all you can say about it.
I'll stand in for Alex. I'll stand in for Alex and say, "You dare rank this movie alongside Rampage and Pacific Rim Uprising?"
I still say Pacific Rim Uprising is the better of the movie of the two.
Does anyone have the stock audio of Alex saying it sucks?
Nah, sadly, he did send that to me. He said it's something about like yeah, he said something else to the effect of like, you know, it's like he'll try to give it to me. At least by this recording, he hasn't given it to me. But knowing me, I'll probably have this rendering in the like, you know, Sony Vegas and whatnot. So
I think some of the movie is bogged down by characters being complete idiots for no real reason. Like the first Predator in the movie, in the beginning, he has his mask and one gauntlet in his escape pod. Why are they there? Why aren't they on his body?
Why does an ODST drop from a pod without his gun attached to him? Because the impact might take it off of him, especially if it's a mask. The mask might go flying off and be like, oh geez, oh man, there it goes, oh no, oh god, now I gotta go pick it, oh I'm under fire, oh no. Like, it's like, probably just put it down in like a holder, and then I meant to get it, but something happened, like the crash impacted and he was like thrown about, and he couldn't grab it. Again, that would make sense to me, but no, it is still stupid that he didn't immediately go back and grab it.
Yeah. And it is pretty convenient that the lab has another Predator mask that's almost exactly like his own, and he just uses it throughout his screen time, but he doesn't use his invisibility, like his cloak. And I also don't understand that. I think he uses it later, right?
Oh, the invisibility, yeah. The guy once he because he ate it. Once it gets through his system, yeah, he uses it. Though why it doesn't activate whenever he has like whenever he has to like moves through his digestive tract, I don't know. But yeah, no, it's still stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, this movie is stupid. But as some smart things, because again, like the masks you saw were from the two other Predators that were supposed to be at the base.
Yeah.
That's the image that if you see off topic, that's the set photos. The two guys, they were supposed to be in army wardrobes. They were Predators, like helping out humanity because their clan was at war with another clan that they were like, well, we can ally with humanity and go against them because, like, for them, it's not like they hate humanity. It's just like, yeah, humanity's just humanity's just humanity. We hunt them on occasion, maybe we can use them on occasion.
Yeah, and I would have been fine with those two Predators in the movie.
That's always the best part of the movie, the Predator's interaction with people. Like, and Predator 2, when the guy gives the cop the gun, or an AVP, the whole interaction between the Predator and the scientist chick. Like, those interactions with the Predator really humans are always the best part.
Mm-hmm. I feel like AVP even though it's not a perfect movie, it's, you know, a little on the dumb side. I feel like that's a criminally underrated movie, I feel.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite guilty pleasures. I really like AVP. Even though I know it's a bad movie.
It's not good. I mean, the action's good. There's a lot of quick cuts to it, but
really good.
Yeah, like there's nothing. The whole end sequence
are just disposable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna hop off now to watch Jurassic World.
Make sure you over-exaggerate everything.
Talk to you guys later.
Like, oh my
Later,
god,
man.
that dinosaur's eating that man. Look at him. Look at him get eaten. Oh wow, it's been camouflaged.
The humanity.
Exactly.
Why is she
You
running?
gotta over-exaggerate.
That was actually her own chord. She wanted to prove that she actually ran the distance in heels. Like that was legit. That wasn't fake.
Yeah.
Really? Wait, Jurassic World? Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. That's why she went everywhere in heels. It was to prove that was part of her character. Because there's a halfway point, and the director was like, "Okay, this is the part where you get rid of your heels." That way, and she's like, "No, I'm going to do the whole movie in my heels because that proves I can do anything he can do, but I can do it wearing these." And so that's what she did.
Okay. Okay.
That was the actor's choice.
I'm actually kind of happy that it's the actor's choice and not the director's choice. Because if it were the director's choice, I felt like that would have been suggestive. But the fact that it was the actor's choice is like, oh, cool. Really impractical, but cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was trying to her to retain that upright way, but still running. And she was like, no, yeah, she did all that, all the stunts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
In full heels, which I give her props because I would have fallen on my face.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I now have a weirdly new respect for her now knowing that.
It's a little weird that she outran a T-Rex, but it's not too bad.
I think it would still have been weird even if she didn't have the heels. So you know.
I mean, the T-Rex has been getting fed this whole time. His hunting skills had kind of fallen.
It's also old.
Ground.
It's also an old Rex.
Every time.
She's an old girl.
Yeah. And it's a she. Don't misgender her.
I didn't. That's why I was emphasizing that.
I said,
Jeez. Afraid people don't know their deep Jurassic Park lore. All dinosaurs are chicks.
But did anyone else watch
Except
The Predator?
Interactor.
I didn't. I've only heard
the
negative things about it, sadly. So
I watched the Foundflix video. Does that count?
No, honestly, I would recommend if you do watch, just ran on Netflix. That's really all that it deserves. Or it ran on Netflix or Redbox or whatever. Like, it's honestly not the greatest.
Netflix?
Just pirated it on Pornhub.
If you want to see a great, actually, thinking of this, if you want to see a really good monster movie that's out right now, go see The Meg. The Meg is really good.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard good things about the Meg. I have been meaning to check that one out. So.
It is shockingly good for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun with the Meg. It was better than the Predator.
It was better than Rampage. Fight me!
I can't really fight you because I haven't seen the movie. Can you at least say better than Pacific Rim Uprising? Then I'll say,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's much better than Pacific Rim Uprising.
I will
Okay,
say that,
good.
yeah, Meg is better.
All right. I'll have to check that out because, yeah, I have heard really good things about the Meg.
And I actually read the book before the movie.
Ah,
Before I watched the
hippie.
movie.
Or hipster. No, that's the right.
I'm a hipster now.
Yes. Wow, and we got like 15 minutes before we can call it good, so woohoo!
Oh yeah. Back to the Predator.
Oh, right. I forgot we got totally interrupted. Alright, keep going.
So, for the marketing, they had this YouTube ad where the two predators fight. And it was, I think, 16 seconds long. And that was the whole fight in the movie.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah, they showed it all in a YouTube ad.
What?
Except for the death.
Oh, no, yeah. Spoilers, but the legit Predator does not last long in that movie. Well, when it meets the big Predator.
Yeah. And I thought the big Predator was really overpowered.
Yep. Goes against the character as a species. No, I guess it is more of a... I guess you could also say it's more like a cop in that regard.
I want to
like-
see the
it's
big predator fight a smaller one, and the smaller one wins.
Well, it's
It's
supposed
like-
to be the small one's like ninja-like, and the big one's like a big brute. But the small one immediately loses the ability to, I don't know, run away. Like,
Wow.
It's like
Wow.
it's like comparing Godzillasaurus with Godzilla. Any Godzilla.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. That's
And that concept just reminded me of Predators and how much better it was handled in that movie.
mhm.
Or just the fight sequence against the Predator in general. Like the one where the guy bites the Predator with a freaking katana. Or at least the sword. That sequence was expertly well done. But
And,
yeah, the fight scenes here were basically just shoot it.
Yeah. The whole moral of the story is shoot it.
The whole
If you
moral
shoot
is-
it enough times, it'll die.
yes. The moral of the story is if you have a gun, shoot it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
You're not wrong.
Right.
That's-
That's always the philosophy. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Also,
The
that's
movie also,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Go
the
ahead.
movie also has some it has some good references to the past movies. Like you see pictures from the first two. There's a little reference to AVP. You see one of them. You see a mask that looks like it's from the first movie, which was supposed to be from one of the other two, with the Earth Predators, I think. The one that I didn't really care for was Get to the Chopper, because that's just
Overplayed.
a little overdone.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper.
Really, the one free Predator meme joke thing they should have done was like, I was like, Dylan, son of a bitch. I love
Yes.
that one. I love that one. Goodness.
I mean, my favorite's I don't got time to bleed, and the guy just stares at him like, okay, and then just immediately goes back to doing his thing. Like, I'm stuck with this guy now. Great.
You got time to duck? They should have played the first movie.
Or taking lessons from the remake of Psycho.
Yep.
Just copy the movie. And it was like, oh, okay. It's like, no, don't try and understand what made the movie as excellent as it is. They're like, no, just copy it. Nah, that's all you need to do with remakes, right?
Just turn the franchise from. Well, just make a movie in a horror franchise to an action comedy.
Yes,
That's all you gotta do.
clearly. That's all you have to do to make a franchise nowadays.
They definitely marvelize it one, especially the end thing, which I won't ruin. But let's just say it's the dumbest option of the many cool things they could have done.
Ah,
Yeah,
jeez.
it is so stupid. Oh, there were predator dogs in this movie also, but they were nothing like the predator dogs from Predators. They were like a mix between a predator and a bulldog. It's just a bulldog with some predator features, and they
Uh-huh.
look stupid.
Ah, that's a
They
shame.
look really, really dumb.
Like the
And-
most dumb.
And there was an action sequence with them, but all that happened was that they were standing there and humans were shooting them and they did nothing.
Wow.
Just nothing happened besides people shooting dogs. But then someone runs
While the song
And-
"In the Arms of an Angel."
And he shoots a grenade down one of the dog's throats, and it just blows up.
Uh-huh.
That's the most that happened in that entire sequence.
Yeah, it definitely
Until
sounds
one-
like a lot of underutilized, like, action in some spots.
Yeah. The same thing that happened in Predators with the Predator dogs was, again, way better
Mm-hmm.
because things actually happened. The dogs didn't just stand there.
Bless you.
Bless you. The dogs didn't just stand there and got shot at. They actually charged. They took down some of them.
Mm-hmm.
They killed Danny Trejo.
Not
Oh, that's
Danny
right.
That,
Right.
I think.
Don't kill Danny Trejo. Anyway.
They're one of the few things that killed Danny Trejo. Maybe it's kind of implied. I think.
It's kind of implied.
But one of the dogs does get shot, like, correctly, and it just turns sides somehow.
It
It
basically
just-
gets lobotomized.
Yeah. And I have no idea how lobotomization works. I have never lobotomized anyone. But it was just weird. But I don't know. And I just didn't like it whenever it was on screen.
Yeah, it was a running joke that should not have lasted as long. It should have just been like wandering around, like, and everyone like thinks it's like a Halloween thing or something, like a dog dressed up, because it takes place on Halloween, by the way.
Oh.
That would have been kind of funny. It would
Eh,
have
it-
been better than just lugging the dog around all the time.
Yeah, again, this movie suffers from. Again, this movie's from a scattered plot that obviously had some studio interference, possibly a director that kind of went too extreme for his own good, that kind of stuff. But it's not terrible. It's just not good. It's your average schlock.
Right. So. Average schlock that's not as good as it wants to be, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. So, that's it. Oh, shoot. I'm surprised we were able to last as long as we did. Goodness, I thought we wouldn't be able to talk about anything other than the Predator, but no.
Yeah, what do you know? We actually can carry an interesting conversation. You're welcome.
Yeah, I know, right? After many stutterings and repetition and losing track of focus and whatnot, I was like, oh yeah. So, meanwhile, I'm just over here playing around with my NECA Shin Godzilla. I'm just screwing around with them because I want to. Just keeping occupied.
KWCC, stop screwing your shin.
Gosh darn it! Why did I let myself fall into that one? Dig blasted.
But, yeah. I really did not like the Predator.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I really, really didn't. It made me a little mad.
Just a little.
I spent the whole week just mad about this movie.
The whole week. That's why you didn't
The
read the
whole
KWCs.
Yep, he was too bad. He was too angry.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I'll make a card for this incarnation of the Predator. He'll have his attack dogs as assistants, and all they'll do is just stand around as Godzilla shoots his atomic ray.
I just quote unquote like that
Oh god.
that the whole thing, not the whole, the finale just takes place in a jungle again, like every Predator movie except Predator 2 and AVP,
Mm-hmm.
kind of.
Because homage. Then I'm sure budget cuts or whatever. Tradition, homage, whatever you want to call it. No, don't do anything new. Just take it back to the jungle again. Yeah, that's fine.
I got the sense that they were wanting to do something new, but then they just put it in a jungle.
That's a possibility.
Again.
That's a possibility. So
It kind of feels, it does kind of feel like it takes some stuff from other movies. Like it has this city setting from Predator 2 and AVP Requiem. It has the Predator versus Predator concept from Predators. It has the bigger Predator concept from Predators. It has the jungle that's in almost every movie.
So it's just kind of like a hodgepodge of like different elements of Predator that's supposed to be like
Yeah.
the Predator. Hey, anyway.
Maybe this movie should have been called The Predator Predator.
Dick Flesh smells so dumb.
Well, it matches the movie.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Alright, in the meantime, I think we can conclude this month's KWCC. We will go over the analytics next time, assuming that we don't have that many matches to look over. And we will see you guys next month for October. So, see how that plays out. Alright, see you guys later.
See ya.
Later, guys.
I don't want to become a puppet again. Don't end it yet.
Don't.